Justin was a quick-thinking, intelligent 18-year-old with little direction or purpose. He lived in a lovely old-fashioned town in eastern Canada, where people valued hard work and dedication. One sunny day, Justin walked down the street to the clock tower, where he had been helping out the old caretaker by doing yard work and other chores. Today was the day to cut the lawn, but he had no idea what the caretaker was planning to offer him. Mr. Higgins was a quirky old man with a passion for all things mechanical and a twinkle in his eye. He had been the caretaker of the clock tower longer than anyone could remember. Justin, starting helping out when he was a young boy, and with the old man's guidance, he learned the maintenance routines and the ins and outs of clock repair. Justin had no idea that Mr. Higgins had been searching for someone honest and dedicated like Justin. He needed someone to take over his role as the keeper of the clock tower. He was hopeful Justin would accept his generous offer to replace him. During one of their conversations, the old clockmaker revealed to Justin that the clock tower was more important than people realized. It held an ancient secret passed down to him from the previous clockmaker almost 100 years ago. He told Justin the story that the clock was not just any old monument, but rather a complicated machine that not only displayed the time, but actually controlled the passage of time itself. It was a delicate collection of gears that kept perfect time as long as it was maintained and cared for. Apparently, there would be real-world consequences if the clock didn't accurately display the time. Unfortunately, over 200 years ago, an accident damaged one of the gears in the clock, causing it to malfunction. Every night, at precisely 11:58 p.m., someone had to adjust the gear manually. Mr. Higgins had been the one to do it for many years, but now Justin would replace him to maintain its secret and ensure that time continued to work as expected. When Mr. Higgins was satisfied he'd made the right decision with Justin, he revealed the second part of the clock's mystical secret. If he ever failed to reset the gear at 11:58 p.m., the clock would not continue. Time would not continue, and the entire day would reset, repeating the same day over. Justin listened to the story. He understood the importance of his duty. He wasn't 100% sure whether Mr. Higgins was telling the truth or not about the clock tower's true nature. He decided it didn't matter whether it was true or just a cautionary tale to reinforce the importance of not letting the clock stop. He vowed to be there every night at 11:58 to adjust the gear as promised. He eagerly accepted the responsibility on the condition he kept the secret of the clock's true nature to himself. Not even the town's leaders knew about it, and it was essential to keep it that way. Justin was glad to take over as the new town clock tower manager, a lifelong position of respect. With the final responsibility handed off to Justin's competent hands, Mr. Higgins left him the keys and signed over the property to Justin. He left town the next day, never to be seen again. Justin was ecstatic about how his whole life had changed overnight. He suddenly had a respected position, an impressive income, and full ownership of the clock tower and residence. Everyone in the town knew Mr. Higgins. Now, this responsibility fell on him. Not long after, Justin's curiosity kept nagging at him. He couldn't stop wondering if the story of the clock tower's gearing flaw could be true. If the clock tower had the power to reset an entire day, this flaw could be good. The ability to relive the same day over could be used to help many people. Knowing things that happen, he could change things for the better. The next night, he planned to test the story by not resetting the gear and seeing what happened. It was risky because his entire arrangement had only one strict rule: do not miss the 11:58 gear adjustment. He had no idea what might happen if he did, but if the story turned out to be true, he'd justify the benefits outweighing any negative side. If things went according to his plan, he would make many people happy. He would then return to adjust the clock's gear correctly at 11:58 p.m. that night, and the day would proceed to tomorrow as normal. At 11:58 that night, a strange feeling came over him. Everything went black for a moment. He then found himself in his own bed and saw that it was Wednesday again. The day had reset, just as he had been told. He spent the day biking around and changing the outcomes for everything on his list, including tipping off the police about the bank robbery before it happened. He couldn't predict how satisfying his new role as the town's secret superhero was. The joy and appreciation he received for solving problems and helping people made it worth it. People loved Justin, and he loved his new life. He finally had a purpose and a plan. He repeated the process many more nights. Some nights he had to reset the day more than once just to get the timing correct between tasks, or to resolve situations his interference made things worse. As the years went by, Justin kept the secret of the clock, knowing that it was a unique and powerful responsibility. He remained the town's secret protector, always ready to step in and save the day whenever needed. He had developed a reputation as being the luckiest man in town and was always in the right place at the right time to save the day or stop the crime. The townspeople even started referring to him as just in time because of his uncanny ability to get where he needed to be. In the end, Justin became the town's superhero, not with any flashy powers or capes, but with his intelligence, bravery, and the help of an ancient clock, which gave him the power to be a true hero to the town.